morning. I'm going to call to order the Public Works Committee for Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. The time is now, what is it now? 9:02. Okay, thank you. Can I get the roll call, please?
Chair Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Ozak,
Here.
Member Cahill,
Here.
Member Desart, Member Galassi,
Here.
Member Zay.
Okay, we do have a quorum. I'm going to bypass Chairwoman's remark. Is there any public comment today?
No.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes, 24-1522, Public Works Committee minutes, regular meeting, Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Any discussion on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are passed. I make a motion to approve consent item 24-1523, amendment to purchase order
Second.
51860001 serve issued to AEP Energy Inc. for electric utility supply and management services for the county campus, public works and stormwater for facilities management for a change order to extend the contract to August 31st, 2024. No change in contract amount. We've had a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Please note, member starts in attendance. Okay, I make a motion to approve the claims report of 24-1524, payment of claims, public works and facilities management. Got a motion to add a second. Any discussion on these? On favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are passed. I make a motion to approve joint purchasing agreement of FMP
Second.
002324, recommendation for the approval of a contract to weatherproofing Technologies Inc. for annual roof inspection, maintenance, and minor repair as needed for campus roofs for facilities management for the period of May 29th, 2024 through October 31st, 2026, for a total contract amount not to exceed $289,469.22. We've got a motion, a second. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I make a motion to approve the professional services agreement of FMP 002424. Recommendation for the approval of contract to Clark Dietz Inc. to provide professional engineering and design services for the installation of new photovoltaic systems at the 421 and 501 buildings and on-call engineering and design services for the county campus for facilities management for the period of May 28th, 2024 through November 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $68,400. I have a motion and a second, right?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this? And this is basically, we're getting prepared. If any grant money comes in, we will then be ahead of the game. So that's what this is for. So, we've got no other discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I make a motion to approve the bid award of 24-1525, recommendation with approval of contract to Builders Chicago Corporation to provide labor and materials to tear down existing and install new VersaGuard wire mesh partitions, caging for the circuit court clerk evidence storage area at the judicial office facility for facilities management for the period of May 22nd, 2024 through May 21st, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $27,180.25 per lowest responsible bid. I made a motion. Any second?
Second.
Any discussion on this? Member Sark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I Googled this company, just a brief Google, and I couldn't tell, are they a union shop?
That is a requirement of our, yes, that is a requirement. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Okay. And I did ask the question of the, who's here, if you have any questions, our circuit clerk, Candace Adams. I had done a tour of the basement of 505 where these are going to be putting up, and I was always concerned the water was going to do, but they're going to be moving the, some of the things to an area that doesn't have pipes. So there's that, leakage onto the,
Yeah, I've
security.
heard that too, and it's just.
Yeah, it's so scary.
Yeah.
So this is a really good thing. So any other discussion of the member Olson, Vice Chair Olson?
I have a procedural question. So I see this came in at 27,180. And I'm curious about what the requirement is. Did they think it might have gone over $30,000 and needed to be competitively bid?
Our estimate was quite a bit lower, or quite a bit higher than what we have here.
Okay.
But, you know, at the end of the day, we got a very, very good bid.
Okay, I'm just.
And I mean,
At
if you look,
at first blush or look, they thought it would be over $30,000.
yeah, I mean, we actually, facilities management, we actually bid this out for them since
Okay.
we will be overseeing the work, but
I see.
our estimate was more than what you're awarding here.
Okay, so this was bid out through facilities management.
Hmm.
Okay, got it.
Procurement.
Procurement, okay, FM, gotcha. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I make a motion to approve action item 24-1526, recommendation for the approval of a contract to the city of Wheaton to provide fire alarm monitoring services for the
Second.
county campus for facilities management for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, for a contract total amount not to exceed $21,420. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now that we are back in open. Oh, go. Tell me when we're good. You're good.
We're good on this, but.
Good on that. The doors are open. Okay, now that we're back in open session, please take the roll call to ensure quorum.
Chair Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Ozak,
Here.
Member Cahill,
Here.
Member Sart,
Here.
Member Galassi.
Here.
Member Zay.
Okay, so after voting on 13A,
So let's take a vote on matters referred from executive session first.
you want to do that first?
Call for
Okay.
motion and then,
Okay, so I make a motion to approve 24-1528 disposition of executive session minutes from November 21st, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion? Going to all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that motion is carried. Now read into this?
yeah,
right?
perfect.
And then, okay, at the next meeting, the executive session meeting minutes from today's meeting will be typed and will essentially only state that all minutes will be released. There will not be anything confidential on the minutes from today. Therefore, on the agenda and open session next meeting, those minutes will be listed for approval to be released if the committee so chooses.
Okay.
Clear as mud?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to our discussion items. We've got discussion 24-1527, jail water usage. Who wants to take this?
So,
Is that-
I can kind of start and then I'll turn it over to facilities. So, we have, we're not gonna put the chart up there on the,
No, it was the handout.
yeah, so there should be a handout. Everybody has it.
Got it.
We have noticed do you have some extras? We have noticed an increase in the water usage in the jail. And as you recall, the jail and the care center are only 24 hours, so not expected there are high usage. But there has been a marked increase that we've noticed and we're investigating. So if you guys want to dive into a little bit more.
Yeah, so the main culprit, we believe right now is we have new meters. So the water meters that were original to the building were 3 meters. There was a compound meter, which is essentially a dual meter, and all this technical jargon, I believe Sean can correct me on because he's the water meter expert, but we had a compound meter that was replaced down to a single meter. And then we have a jail fire line, which is just the sprinkler system meter. They were original to the building in 1983 and water meters, as you can imagine, the calcium carbonate and all the lime scale that can build up on the water meter will actually make it run slow over time. So it's not capturing all the usage. So we're estimating around a 20% usage rate that was not being captured. So that is the main culprit, we believe right now, to the increased water usage. We are still investigating some other things that it could potentially be attributed to, but right now it is the water meter replacement is the main culprit.
I will say that it's a little bit odd because we obviously replace a lot of meters in public works and you typically replace the meter and then you see the increase and it's level. Over the past year, we've seen a steady increase after the replacement. So obviously, we're going to be investigating, how the meters were replaced. Were they done properly? Maybe they were put in line? Are we double reading? With the city of Wheaton, we're trying to figure that out. And then also our utilization, our usage within the jail. Is there something different that has happened? But I mean, we are definitely, because besides energy, water is our biggest expense here for utilities. And this type of increase will absolutely impact our budget where we need an increase by the end of the year. There's no doubt about it. So we will turn over every stone to figure out why. It's not behaving how we would think it would behave after a meter replacement. It's absolutely normal. Your meter slowly goes slower over time. You replace it, it goes up. And it'd be level at that point. It wouldn't show this type of a response. So we need to figure out exactly what's happening. And we will do the investigation.
Yep, Member Cahill.
Thank you so much. I had a similar issue in my home. And, we had plumbers come in and check all the toilets, all the water heater, everything. And it was one of the toilets that was running, but it was not the flapper or anything. It was something in the plumbing. So I'm just asking, have you checked out all the, everything in the jail? Or maybe it's better that we replace some of the older equipment with newer stuff that will save us.
So absolutely, that's gonna be part of it, looking at it. I will tell you that the faucets and what's in there, the inmates over there actually artificially try to prop them open because everything we have is like a pressure that will let it come out in 15, 20, 25 seconds. But, you know, they figure out ways to kind of wedge them open. And so we're looking at different options out there.
Number to start.
Cindy, that is so funny because I was gonna say the same exact thing. This happened in my home and it was one of the toilets
Yeah.
that was running. So I'm not an engineer. You don't have to take my advice, but you might want to check out the toilets.
Yeah, I will tell you, just on a completely side note, and so the new billing system and what we've done in Public Works, it actually allows our customers to see their usage middle of the night. So if you see usage at 2 a.m, you know you have a leak in your house. So it's been very good for our customers.
Yeah.
We don't exactly have that over in the jail, but.
We don't. But, okay, Vice Chair.
I also had a leaking toilet, but the village informed me of it, because they noticed. it.
And
So it
I
was
think
unique, but
Stan and his team have called different customers already to let them know you have a problem on
which is
your
helpful,
property.
which is helpful.
Yeah.
But
They were
is it
very
possible,
thankful.
you're talking about behavior in the, is
It-
it
it's-
possible to go to like a photometric?
There is a lot of,
Process, that kind of
I mean,
things.
I don't want to say right now why we're gonna look at everything from maybe something has failed we're not aware of, we have a leak somewhere, to operations, how it's being done, to maybe the meters were put in parallel or, you know, in series. We're gonna look at everything to see, but I just wanted to kind of let everybody know, going with this type of usage, our budget absolutely won't cover it, and our 25 budget will be substantially higher.
How old is the facility?
There were two editions. The original building was 83, and then the second building, I want to say, was the early 90s.
I think 91,
Okay,
92,
so-
yeah.
Over 30 and 40 years old, okay.
Yeah. Young.
Yeah.
Oh, true, but
Yeah, really.
Relatively.
I just gonna say,
And I will say,
how long I've been married.
we have looked at, you know, there are, within this industry, there's obviously more hardened type of fixtures that you can do, but those are very expensive, like $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. So it's all a cost, you know, you look at, yeah, I mean, so we have to look at everything.
the leak would be good.
I'm gonna start, say something else?
I did have a question. As a homeowner, I also have to pay for the water reclamation, the wastewater.
Mhm.
Do you see the wastewater bill?
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Go
yeah.
for-
It's the water is far more expensive, obviously, per unit than the wastewater, but absolutely, every ounce of water we pay for water, we pay for with wheat and sand for the sanitary. It's just not as high as a bill. Yeah, they're both gonna be
They
high.
go off of the same meter, so that doesn't help
Yeah.
us too much, unfortunately. I wish there was two different meters that we could compare, but we don't. so.
Thank you. Okay, any other discussion on this? All right, let's move on to the 421 murals. We've got, all of you've got some information here regarding some of our choices here. This is something that few of our members have brought up, concern of.
Yeah, I don't have one.
It's gonna be up here, but we can provide, we'll send out the digitals. Tim or Jeff, can you send out the digitals to this to everybody?
Yeah, sorry, I thought they were sent out.
I can give you mine too. Whoever needs
Yeah.
one over
Yeah,
here.
we'll share.
We'll share.
Share one.
Thank you.
Here. Should do carry.
So we have done a lot of research. We've found out some pretty, interesting things about the history of it. We're talking about the murals right here on either side here in the atrium. And several, and questions have gone back for probably 20 years. I've had questions coming to me going, what are they? Why do we have them? What can we do with them? And so this is kind of what we found for the murals.
As Nick said, this kind of, every few years, it kind of pops up where they hear from. Just quick summary, these were originally in our museum building when it was a property of city of Wheaton, downtown Wheaton. It was constructed as part of the children's library on the second floor. In 1932, this is pre-WPA. Two tribal community murals, Western tribal communities, I kind of looked into what are the local tribes, and it does not include any of the people depicted here. If you go to the second, Joe.
Can I add to that really quickly? Because I've done a bunch of research on this as well. And here locally in Illinois, we have the Potawatomi tribe, and these are not, they're not.
No,
Potawatomi.
you go back one.
That's right, I just want to make that clarification. Neither one of these murals.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, the thing that kind of tipped us were the mountains in the back scene. We're like, probably not. Yeah. That was our giveaway.
I have no idea what those are in Illinois.
Again, it was
There was
for,
an earthquake.
it was for a children's library, so it was more romanticized view of, and it was the 1930s. Not historically accurate, probably.
Not at all.
Thanks, Joe. So as you can see here, originally they were on the second floor. You can still see that stage and backdrop there, but now it's just blank because the arrow is here. In the 60s, the city transferred the museum first to the DuPage County Historical Society, which then transferred it to the county, which is why it is now our property. And sometime in the early 80s, the murals were removed from over there. And it looks like they were just glued to our plaster walls here on the third floor, which you'll see a picture on the next one, but you're 30 feet above the ground there, which also makes it an issue. To even access it, it'd be $10,000 to $20,000 in scaffolding just to get up there to safely work.
And to say glued is a nice statement because there's like a layer of, they took a roller with glue. Those things are on there. There's no way to get them off.
Basically gonna cut out the drywall. and have to
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a second here.
Right.
Yeah, next slide, Joe. So we did find documentation in 2002. They started looking at just cleaning or repairing the murals in place. In mid 2016, we were asked to look, facilities actually put a bid on the street to remove and store or remove and full restoration of the murals. And we got a couple price ranges 8 years ago for that. Late in 2016, somebody from Wheaton College reached out to, I think it was Paul Haas in Building and Zoning, and we had them out here. They were kind of excited until they saw the numbers we had got for the removal restoration. And, they said, we'll let you know if we talk to anybody else who's interested. At that time, we did contact the GSA in DC just to confirm that these are not WPA murals because those would be federal property. This artist later did WPA murals, but there's even a date on them, 1932. WPA didn't exist till 35.
What does that mean?
What's WPA?
Sorry, the Works Progress Administration, it was part of the New Deal in the 1930s where they hired artists to do murals, buildings, a lot of post offices in Chicago. And these are historically relevant murals and it adds a lot of value and almost a priceless value to them if it's the federal property, but these are more of a precursor to those. And this was a private art commission. This was not publicly founded or funded at that time. Last year, we did have a brief discussion on these. It's kind of brought up again, do these need to stay up there? Who owns them? That sort of thing. We looked at, can we just simply cover them with drapes or frame out a false wall in front of it? We just want to cover them up. Don't just throw some paint on them. Unfortunately, because they're so high up and because of their size, it would be very hard to engineer something. It would have to be anchored to the roof above if we wanted to hang drapes down, that sort of thing. We also discussed signage, which you'll see in the next one. And this year we did have an appraisal done just for insurance purposes. They guessed around 13 grand each, 26 total for the two of them, just based on the size of the artwork. They didn't really see them as a historical item, more of just an artwork item. A slideshow. We've mocked up some 8.5 by 11 signs that would point to more in-depth info on our website. I was going to propose working with Michelle at the museum downtown to kind of finalize that language. So at least people know what they're looking at when they're on this, either on the wall or on the handrails. If we can find something secure enough that we're not worried about it falling 30 feet into the atrium there. Long term, I'd say any board members who know have been interested or museum historical contacts, we'd love to talk to anybody who'd want to, find a nice home for these. There are Native American organizations in Chicago we could reach out to and see how local tribes feel. But again, these are not depicting local tribal life or anything. So we just want to see if there's any public comment on these. We could also circle back with Wheaton College looking for long-term homes. If we don't see any interest, we could bring it back to committee at that time if there's a will or direction to remove these or
Okay.
store them, that sort of thing.
So kind of the moral of the story is, I know Tim back probably 5-6 years ago, you talked to museums out west.
Correct.
And then there was no interest. So there's really no interest for these. So our thought with the cost of doing anything with them is just love them and embrace them and sign them up and be done with it. That's kind of where we're at.
Yep.
Because it's gonna be over $100,000 to do anything really else. If we get lucky, somebody wants them and wants to pay for relocating them and displaying them, great. But at that kind of expense, we'll do the signage and make them, people can see what they are and they're up there.
And that's my opinion, is to put the signage up right now. I just don't see, I don't know, if there's no way we should probably be spending any money on kind of doing this. It's like, really don't mean anything to the county. They don't represent the county or anything like that, but at least it will tell people what they actually were in their history.
And keep in mind, if we were to remove them, we remove the wall with it, and it's plaster behind it, so there's no taking them off. We cut the plaster out and we ship it with the plaster, and we gotta repair all the plaster up there, because that's the problem. It's not just take it down and ship it.
Okay, I have 1 minute for meeting, for because I have to go chair another meeting, unfortunately, real quick.
I did have an idea this morning, perhaps a series of like long strips, maybe 4 strips across it with like a photo mural of various people and places in DuPage. To cover it is perhaps an idea with not a lot of expense. I'm thinking banners similar to what we've got downstairs. So, well, could you hang them from the wall is what I'm thinking. So you cover them appropriately. It's a thought.
It'd be tough. One of them gets pretty close to the top there.
Oh, the
We'd
curve,
have
yeah.
to- Yeah. But,
If you're looking for consensus, I don't want to spend $100,000 on this.
Okay.
No, none of those do.
And putting the historical background on it helps because Glen Ellen has a WPA mural and it's building a log cabin. And, people's viewpoints of history change and how you look at history. So knowing the context of when it was painted is.
If it's okay with the committee, we'll go ahead and do the signage, get it up there, and if this committee wants to revisit it in the future, we're happy to bring it back up.
I'm looking for a consensus.
Yep.
Okay, ready? Yes. I think
Yeah.
that's your consensus.
Thank
Any
you.
old business?
No.
Any new business?
No.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Well done.